I'm with Austin Title. Thank you so much, PT50, for having me here today. A couple quick things about me that make me maybe a little different than everyone else. One, I have lived in Austin my entire life. And two, I've been in the title business for 20 years, and I have only worked for Austin Title. I started with them, and I've never left them. We're owned by Fidelity National Title. So only living in Austin my entire life and only being with one title company after 20 years, I was told makes me a unicorn. So who doesn't want to work with a unicorn? Okay, no, seriously, I love my job. I love what I do, and I love my company. And if you ask me why, the biggest reason is I get to work with incredible people like Erika. I've had the privilege of knowing her since she started in her real estate career, and she has grown exponentially. A couple things about Erika. Erika is an agent now with Compass. She had a natural transition into the real estate career after spending 15 years previously in healthcare. Erika is known for her patience, which I have personally seen, an ability to listen to her clients' needs to help them achieve their real estate goals. Last year, Erika was accepted into Leadership Austin's Essential Class of 2020 and attributes some of her nuanced understandings of Austin's social and economic dynamics to membership in this well-regarded group. Here's Erika.
Hey, thanks, Jenny. Woohoo, let's get this party started. I'm ready to go. Start the slides. All right. Hey, everyone. It's really great to be here. I'm coming to you today to talk a little bit about my path to finding my place in the world, how I got here, and what I have found to be the keys to my own success over the course of my 5 years as a realtor in Austin. I want to talk to you a little bit about what it's meant for me to leave the stability of a comfortable career, one that was expected, one that made sense based on my background, and what it meant to leave that all behind in order to pursue the uncertainty of a career in an industry that's pretty competitive. So I come from a public health background. Most of my career before real estate was in some form of healthcare. I started out as a student health liaison in a Bay Area university school, and then I worked as a medical assistant in a small clinic, moving on to later managing maternal health programs for a New York-based nonprofit working in small communities in various West African countries. And finally, I got 2 nursing degrees and started working on the hospital floor, winding up at Brackenridge Hospital's high-risk pregnancy unit. So this stepwise progression seemed to make sense to me. It was my status quo. It was stable. It was what I was supposed to do. And so I did it. And this is a photo of me and some of my classmates when we graduated as nurse practitioners. We all looked super happy. We were relieved to be done with the endless studying, long nights, papers, exams. We had arrived. We had learned all the practicalities of what it took to work as clinicians, and we were ready for our real careers. So as the years passed working on the unit, I began to feel increasingly unsatisfied. I was exhausted. I worked 12-hour shifts overnight. I didn't feel like I was making much of a difference. And to be honest, I didn't really think I was that good at it. And that is a horrible feeling to have day in and day out about something you spend so much time doing. I had spent several years and a ton of money earning this prestiged advanced degree for what I thought was the right move for my life. But at what cost? One thing I knew is that I did not have the passion that I felt like I was supposed to have. I had 2 little babies at home, and leaving them in the evenings in the middle of dinner several nights per week was so hard, especially for something that was not filling my cup. I kept asking myself if it was scarier to continue to do something I felt uninspired by, or was it scarier to take a leap of faith and pivot into a realm where I didn't know the outcome. Taking a chance often comes with great sacrifice, but I knew I had to make a change in my life. So I know my story is not unique. This statistic from NAR proves that 95% of agents choose a career in real estate after leaving 1 or 2 previous careers. So the beauty of our industry is that there's really no map for how you get here and no map for what you do when you do get here. And this panel of amazing agents and the variety of topics being presented is symbolic of that. We're all here working on our own personal magic and bringing our own past experiences to create a successful business that all look really different from each other. And to me, that makes real estate such a field of opportunities in itself. We all come from a different place, but in real estate, we're able to restart and reevaluate and re-envision what's important in our lives. What I enjoyed about working as a nurse was that I love people, but I had no freedom. I had no flexibility. And in real estate, I am so inspired by the people who thought maybe they could never own a house and actually get to the other side of that hurdle. I'm humbled by the tears of past clients who get emotional at the closing table because they're maybe the first person in their family to ever buy a home. When I get to be a part of that experience with someone, it's really grounding, let me tell you. And I love that. It gives me pride in my work and it makes me feel like I'm living my purpose. And the success just follows that. Believe in what you're doing and the doors open up. I've experienced this a lot working with first-time buyers. This group of people keeps me sharp because they're often younger and super resourceful, and they always have so many questions. And working through transactions almost exclusively with this demographic in the early days of my real estate career sharpened my skills and really gave me the confidence to work with the most seasoned buyers that I often work with today. Another part of what drives me comes from a life of service. So outside of work, volunteering has always been a huge part of my life. And that followed seamlessly into my real estate business, where I've realized that service to my clients, service to my sphere and to my community intersects with my business, and it fuels my purpose alongside my work. And I don't see these as separate, but rather as interchangeable forces, each bolstering the other one. And there are several organizations that are near and dear to my heart, like Meals on Wheels, like foundation communities. Many of you support foundation communities, I know, and Leadership Austin. But the one that has brought me tremendous personal and professional growth is my work via board service with the Sustainable Food Center. SFC is a nonprofit organization that works to create opportunities for individuals, often disenfranchised, to make healthy food choices and be a part of the larger food system. I've developed relationships in this aspect of my life that have permeated into my business world with fluidity and without very much effort. And of course, always being grateful. That's my number one. I live this way. Real estate is hard and life is hard. And 2020 has been an often painful and consistent reminder of that fact. But I have found that recognizing the silver lining everywhere you can and allowing yourself to have grace and to be thankful somehow opens up all the doors. I try my best to remind clients, old and new, how appreciative I am of their unwavering support of my business through client appreciation events like the one in the photos in the last slide, or through small acts of kindness like little gifts with every referral, even if those referrals don't turn into a sale, or finding opportunities to give compliments for no reason at all, or personalized gratitude video messages just to let people know that they're on my mind and that I'd love to reconnect. Being good feels good, and it creates an atmosphere that people want to be around. And I do my best to create that every day in an effort to attract the kind of business that I want in my life. When I think about my earlier career, I think about how much I sacrificed for my family. And now, while I might work longer hours than I used to, I get to set my own priorities. I get to create my own schedule, and I have pride in the work that I do every day. It makes my life better, and that follows by making my family's life better. In the end, everything I do for this incredible group of people I get to share my life with. I am so grateful for all the life experience that have brought me here, and I'm really grateful that I get to work in an industry with some of the most fun and interesting people around, seriously. I can't really imagine ever doing anything else. And if I ever get misguided about the thought that all the work I did to become a nurse practitioner was a waste of time, one thing is for sure. At least I'm trained in CPR, just in case a client has a cardiac event when I tell them what they have to do to get a house in this crazy market. Thank you so much for listening, y'all.